Your enemies are in serious trouble. Everything they planned against you is falling apart. The prophetic fall of your enemies. Listen closely, because this message is not random. You were guided here for a reason. There's something unfolding right now in the unseen. Something that confirms what your spirit already knows. Your enemies are in serious trouble. Everything they built against you is collapsing. Piece by piece, brick by brick. The same mouths that mocked you will soon whisper your name in awe. You see, they thought their schemes were clever. They laughed when you stumbled. They cheered when life tested you. But what they didn't understand is that your setbacks were never a sign of defeat. They were divine setups. They were watching a seed before it sprouted, not realizing it was destined to break through the soil. They underestimated the process, and that was their biggest mistake. Because while they were busy plotting, you were busy growing. While they were gossiping, you were advancing. While they were talking about your failures, you were silently preparing for your victory. Type, "I received this" in the comments if you know this word is for you. Let's get real. These people couldn't stop thinking about you. You became their obsession. They checked your page, your stories, your moves. They studied your every step, not because they cared, but because they envied. They wanted your peace, your confidence, your favor, your light. They saw you as a threat, even when you were minding your business. And here's the irony. Their entire focus on you was their downfall. Because the moment they shifted their energy from building themselves to tearing you down, they aligned themselves with destruction. You stayed in your lane. They swerved out of theirs. Now, their own energy is working against them. They spoke evil into your life, not realizing words are energy. The curses they sent out circled back like a boomerang. The trap they said was never yours. It was their own. And now, one by one, they're stepping into the holes they dug for you. That's why nothing is working for them. Their plans are backfiring. Their alliances are crumbling. Their fake smiles are fading. Behind closed doors, they're miserable. You might still see them posting, still pretending to shine. But what you don't see is the darkness that has swallowed their peace. You've been chosen, and chosen ones carry divine protection. When they tried to bury you, they didn't know you were a seed. They didn't know darkness is where you grow best. You took every insult, every betrayal, every rumor, and turned it into fertilizer for your breakthrough. And now, look what's happening. You're rising. You're shining. You're stronger, wiser, and more focused than ever before. Meanwhile, those who wanted you small are shrinking. Those who laughed at your climb are slipping off the mountain. God works with precision. Nothing that happened to you was wasted. Every delay, every tear, every betrayal, it was all redirection. Those who tried to curse you actually contributed to your blessing. Their jealousy became your motivation. Their mockery became your fuel. There's a divine law at play. What you send out always returns to you multiplied. They sent hate, you returned love. They sent envy, you stayed in gratitude. They spread lies, you stayed silent. That's why the universe is now repaying you in peace, favor, and unstoppable elevation, while they're being repaid in confusion and loss. Some of them even rallied others against you. They built small armies of gossipers and critics, hoping to destroy your reputation. They shared posts, they tagged your name, they laughed in private chats. But the universe was watching. The Most High was keeping receipts. And now, people are starting to see the truth. The same ones who once believed the lies are beginning to notice the pattern. Why are they always talking about this person? Why are they so obsessed? The fog is lifting. The manipulators are being exposed. The energy is shifting in your favor. If you've been feeling that shift lately, if you've been sensing peace where chaos used to live, this is why. The storm wasn't meant to drown you. It was meant to wash your enemies away. I want you to picture this. Your life is like a grand stage. The lights are rising. The curtain is opening. And those who doubted you are forced to sit in the audience. They'll watch you step into your season of reward. They'll witness everything they said you couldn't achieve unfold right before their eyes. Their punishment isn't just failure, it's witnessing your success. And that, my friend, is poetic justice. They thought they could block your blessings, but you are the blessing. They thought they could dim your light, but your glow doesn't come from man. It's powered by purpose. They thought you were done, but you were only beginning. And here's what's really powerful. You didn't fight back in their way. You didn't match their low vibration. You didn't curse them. You kept your integrity. You kept your energy pure. And that's why you're untouchable. That's why you're divinely protected. What they meant for harm is now working in your favor. The pain became your preparation. The betrayal became your blessing. The rejection became your redirection. Everything they tried to use to break you became the foundation for your next level. Let's talk energy for a moment. When people attack you, they're not attacking you. They're attacking the light within you. It's not personal. It's spiritual. You reflect what they lack. Your peace exposes their chaos. Your confidence reveals their insecurity. Your progress reminds them of their stagnation. They thought if they dimmed your light, theirs would shine brighter. But that's not how light works. You can't dim the sun by cursing it. You can only burn yourself trying. And that's exactly what's happening. They played with fire. Now they're getting burned. They toyed with energy they didn't understand. And now they're paying the price. You see, divine justice doesn't always arrive with noise. Sometimes it arrives in silence. While they're screaming for attention, their own world is collapsing in the background. They can't sleep peacefully anymore. Their relationships are breaking apart. Their finances are drying up. They're losing support from people who once cheered them on. Everything they wished for you, they're now living it. That's karma in its purest form. But don't rejoice in their pain. Just recognize the balance. The universe isn't cruel, it's corrective. And when you walk in truth, truth always defends you. You're being elevated right now. It may not all be visible yet, but trust me, it's happening. Behind the scenes, doors are opening for you. Paths are clearing. Opportunities are aligning. What was meant to destroy you is becoming your stepping stone. This season is your comeback. The laughter they shared at your expense will soon turn into silence. The silence will turn into whispers, and those whispers will turn into applause. Stay grounded, stay humble, stay advancing. Don't look back to throw stones. You're not here to prove a point. You're here to live your purpose. Every ounce of pain they caused you has been converted into spiritual currency. You've been investing in your own expansion without even realizing it. Now it's time for your harvest. If this message resonates, don't scroll away. Pause. Take a deep breath. Feel the truth of it in your spirit. You're protected, you're chosen, and you're unstoppable. Type "I'm advancing" in the comments if you know this word is yours. Like this video if you feel that shift, and share it with someone who's on the verge of their breakthrough. Because the truth is, your enemies didn't destroy you, they developed you. They were never the author of your story. They were just the conflict that made your victory more powerful. Stay tuned. Your vindication has already begun. The tables have turned. There's something powerful happening right now in the unseen. It's a spiritual reversal. The tables have turned, and not just slightly. The same energy they used to fight you has circled back with precision, and now it's working against them. You don't even have to lift a finger. You don't even have to say a word. The Almighty has already handled it. That's why lately you may feel a strange calm in your spirit. You sense something shifting, but you can't quite explain it. That's the sound of divine justice unfolding quietly. Their plans are falling apart in ways even they don't understand. Doors are closing. Opportunities are slipping. People they trusted are turning on them. It's as if life itself is saying, "You shouldn't have touched that one." See, there's something sacred about being chosen. You carry an assignment that makes you a walking mirror. Your presence reflects people's truth back to them. And for some, that's unbearable. It exposes what they tried to hide. So instead of healing, they project. Instead of learning from your strength, they try to destroy it. But you can't curse what's blessed. You can't bury what's rooted in divine soil. They didn't realize who they were dealing with. You're not just another person. You're an advancing soul, guided by higher intelligence. And that's why what was meant to destroy you is now working as your greatest advertisement. The gossip gave you visibility. The lies gave you energy. The betrayal gave you strength. Every attempt to break you only made your story more legendary. Comment, "They can't stop me," if you feel this truth vibrating in your bones. Let me tell you something they never understood. When you walk in light, you don't need revenge. Your peace is the revenge. Your success is the response. Your joy is the vibration. They can't stand it because they expected to see you broken, begging, defeated. But instead, you're glowing. You're thriving. You're advancing. And while you're glowing up, they're breaking down. You see, the universe doesn't tolerate imbalance for too long. When someone consistently throws darkness, it returns home like a storm that can't find rest. That's what's happening right now. They're being haunted by their own actions. Restless minds, sleepless nights, constant unease. The same way they once obsessed over your life, they're now obsessed with their losses. The energy they sent out multiplied and came home to roost. You were never fighting people. You were fighting spirits. Jealousy, envy, pride, fear. These are spiritual viruses, and they infected those around you who weren't strong enough to resist the temptation to hate. But you stayed grounded. You stayed aligned. You refused to let their poison enter your system. That's why you survived what others didn't. That's why you still have your peace, your purpose, your progress. Because you learned to master silence. You learned that elevation requires isolation. They thought your silence was weakness, but your silence was strategy. You let your results do the talking, and now the results are loud. You're stepping into a new era, a time where every seed you planted in pain will boom publicly. The ones who mocked you will watch the garden you cultivated grow into something beyond their imagination. The same people who said you'd never make it will see you walking through doors they'll never have access to. It's not pride, it's prophecy. This is what happens when divine timing meets relentless faith. Your enemies are in serious trouble because they can't touch you anymore. You've ascended vibrationally. You're not even in the same energetic neighborhood. You've outgrown their gossip, their envy, their petty drama. They're still playing checkers while you're mastering chess. They don't understand how you keep rising, how you keep shining, how you keep advancing despite their efforts. It's because you're no longer fighting flesh. You're flowing with divine energy. The moment you aligned with your higher purpose, the battle was already won. Let me give you a vision. Picture them standing at the edge of a cliff they built for you. They thought you'd fall, but the ground beneath them is now shaking. Their own structure is collapsing because it was built on deceit. And you, yes, you, have wings. You were never meant to fall. You were meant to fly. Every insult became a gust of wind lifting you higher. Every betrayal became a stepping stone. Every delay became a setup for divine acceleration. And now you're soaring. They can't reach you even if they tried. This is why you must stay focused. Don't turn around to throw stones at those who are already buried in the consequences of their own behavior. Keep advancing. Keep growing. Because your light doesn't need to prove anything. It just needs to shine. You may not know this yet, but someone who once betrayed you is now speaking highly of you behind closed doors. Guilt is eating at them. The same ones who mocked you are now defending you. They're realizing they picked the wrong side. They're realizing you weren't the problem. You were the blessing. And it's not that you wanted revenge. You just wanted peace. But the law of cause and effect never fails. What they gave is what they're now living. They traded peace for problems. They traded favor for frustration. And as their world crumbles, you're being divinely promoted. You're being lifted to platforms that match your vibration. You're stepping into opportunities that were always yours, just waiting for you to release old energy and toxic attachments. So here's your word for this season. Do not be moved. Do not chase. Do not argue. Do not explain. You've already been vindicated in the spiritual realm. It's only a matter of time before it manifests publicly. People who turn their backs on you will come back with apologies. People who laughed will bow their heads in silence. People who doubted you will have to watch your name rise in places they never thought you'd reach. And when that happens, stay humble, smile, because this was never about proving them wrong. It was about proving your faith right. Your enemy's collapse is not your victory. It's your confirmation. It's proof that the path you chose, peace over revenge, growth over gossip, love over hate, was the higher road. And that's why you're untouchable. That's why you're advancing. Listen to this. They lost when they decided to hate you. They lost when they underestimated you. They lost when they made you the topic instead of working on their own growth. You won when you kept your peace. You won when you chose silence. You won when you kept building. You won when you said, I'm not going to let their energy distract me from my mission. Because advancing souls don't fight to be seen. They rise to be remembered. So keep rising, King. Keep glowing, Queen. Every attempt to destroy you has become evidence of your divine protection. You're the example that light always wins. You're living proof that no weapon formed against you can prosper. Not because you fought harder, but because you vibrated higher. Right now, your enemies are in serious trouble. Their bitterness turned into bondage. Their jealousy became their jail. Their hatred became their downfall. Meanwhile, you are walking freely, boldly, and beautifully into everything that's meant for you. This is your winning season. Everything they said you couldn't have, you'll hold. Everything they tried to stop, you'll accomplish. Every place they said you'd never reach, your feet will stand there. It's already done. It's already written. It's already yours. If this message speaks to your spirit, type, "It's already mine," in the comments. And if you haven't done so, like this video to affirm your breakthrough. Share it with someone who's been through warfare but refuses to quit. And remember, as always, keep your vibration high, your vision clear, and your heart open. Because the universe is watching your consistency, and God is rewarding your endurance. My name is Manchus. This is the Advancing Channel. And this is your reminder that the light always wins. Stay advancing, stay royal, stay unstoppable. One love, God bless, and all the best.